Welcome back to my channel, guys. It's your girl Melody, and for this video today I'm going to be doing RRT. I don't know if you guys can remember that, but RRT is random relationship talk, and this is an episode on that. And guess what I'm going to be talking about today? Since it is Valentine season, I'm going to be talking about the 5 love languages. Just in case you have never heard about that, there are actually 5 love languages that human beings speak and understand. If you haven't heard about it before, and then if you have heard about it before, I'm just going to be giving you my own version. Not like my own version, but my own thoughts on languages. So yes, it's your first time of hearing it. It exists, yeah? So speaking about love languages, like I said, there are 5 love languages, and in no particular order, I will just list them. So we have words of affirmation, we have physical touch, we have quality time, we have acts of service, and we have gifts. Receiving of gifts. Now, like I said, in no particular order, there's no order of priority. These are the 5 love languages, and then I'll just highlight them. So the first on our list, which one was the first one that I mentioned again? Words of affirmation. Words of affirmation, just like the word implies, words that affirm. So for people whose primary love language is words of affirmation, they would really appreciate when you use your words to affirm them, use your words to compliment them, basically just affirm them with words. And it's usually special when it comes from somebody who they love, somebody who they admire, somebody who they respect, and somebody who, in this case, they are significant other. So yeah, that's words of affirmation. These words can be about their personality or something they are great at, just making sure to give them honest, genuine, compliments and words that would affirm them on their personality and really just make them feel good. Okay, so yeah, that's words of affirmation. You actually have to vocalize whatever it is that you notice that you like about them. That's how you speak the love language. For example, you can say, your smile is so beautiful. Whenever I see you smile, I'm tempted to smile myself. You have such an amazing smile. It can be anything generally that just brightens up their day. It can be, oh, I like the way your haircut is. I like the way you speak. I like the way your eyes are. Just genuine compliments, basically. Acts of service. Now, for these people that have their primary love language as acts of service, it means helping them make their life easier, doing things to help them generally. Let me give you an instance. I have a friend who was telling me about one of the things that made her really fall in love with her husband. And she said how that when her sibling was getting married, he drove her, took her and her sister to the market, waited for them, dropped them back home at night. Basically was just of so much help to her that they took her to wherever she needed to be, did all the running around with her. And then when she got back home that day, I'm sure butterflies were flying in her head and all of that. So basically, for acts of service is anything that you can do to make the person's life easier and just help out generally, especially for people that their primary love language is acts of service. So you cannot see somebody who acts of service is their love language and be speaking words of affirmation. Not gonna work. Next on my list is quality time. I will try not to be very personal or biased about this one, but for people who have quality time as their primary love language, it means basically time and quality time at that. Undivided attention. Those people want to know that you are present with them when you're with them. You're present in body, soul, and spirit. Not like for somebody who has quality time as their love language. Yuki time is finding time in the midst of whatever it is you're doing and giving it to them such that they feel like they have your attention regardless. So that's quality time. And for time, it could just mean talking, listening, staring into each other's eyes, just spending time together, could be taking a walk, but the idea is to spend time together and quality time at that. So yeah, that's the love language. That's the kind of ways you can, exhibit or practice that kind of love. Next love language is physical touch. Like the name implies, fits as in touch. Okay, not inappropriately, not anyhow, not annoyingly, but just a little touch here and there. Hugs. Hugs are amazing, by the way. Make sure to hug people who their love languages are physical touch. Small brushes here and there. Just, you're mistakenly passing. You just brush the person on their shoulders, touch their legs. Something. Shall just make sure that there's physical touch, there's contact with your bodies somehow. like I said, physical touch is not the extreme. It's just mild, minor touches here and there. So yes, for people whose primary love language is physical touch, do well to touch them. Not, you get my point, yeah? Not inappropriately, and not random people too. For people who love them and who they love. Okay, so that it doesn't come off as annoying. And yes, yeah, that's what physical. And last but not the least is receiving gifts. That's, I mean, one of the love languages. People who their primary love language is receiving gifts always love to get a gift. When they get a gift, it just shows them how thoughtful you were of them. You were thinking about them and you thought to give them this, especially if it's a thoughtful gift, so you know that this is something they like or they needed, or you know, it was just random. It's always reassuring to them. It's always very warm to them. You know, you can really earn your space in their hearts, you know, giving gifts to people who their primary love language is gifts. You know, just whatever it is, it doesn't necessarily have to be a big gift. I think it's really the thought behind the gift that really counts for people who their primary love language is gifts. So yes, give gifts to people that their love language is gifts. Now, the fact that I listed out these 5 love languages does not mean that anybody is confined to a particular love language. That's why I call them primary love languages. We all speak the 5 love languages at different times and from different scenarios and, you know, different situations, right? So you can't say, okay, because somebody's love language is words of affirmation, that's all you will be doing for them, words of affirmation. It just means that that's the one that they will connect to fast. Does that make sense? So you don't want to be giving doing acts of service for somebody whose love language is primary love language is words of affirmation. That doesn't mean that in a different situation that the way to express love to that person would not be acts of service. Like when they need help, when they need, you can do things that can make their life easier. You say, no, this person's love language is words of affirmation, that I will kill you with. No, you have to be emotionally sensitive to know when these love languages are required, right? So that it's somebody, they have active love language and then they have passive love languages. Okay, so you have to learn to speak it when occasion demands. Same thing for somebody whose love language is which one now? Physical touch. It doesn't mean that you can't give them gifts on their birthdays, or you can't just surprise them randomly with gifts. And I say, no gifts, care. What can I give that? No, she doesn't give. She doesn't like gifts. He doesn't like gifts. It's just physical touch. You want to use hug to kill them. Please and please and please, right? You have to learn when to speak each love language. But like I said, the primary love language of every individual has a primary love language that they communicate and they relate to faster, and you know, you can get through to them that way. So the thing is to learn about the 5 love languages. Then if there's somebody that you're eyeing, or somebody's eyeing you, okay, the other way around, if you're somebody that you're eyeing, the first thing to do is to know the 5 love languages and then to observe, to try and pick which of this love language is their primary love language, so that you can speak it to them. So that, you know, you can't be speaking Japanese to somebody who understands Italian. You know, there's going to be a conflict there. So you have to, for the purpose of this conversation, learn Japanese so that you can get through to this person who speaks Japanese, and the person will really, oh, you can speak Japanese, that's so beautiful. You get, so you learn the love languages so that you can know how best to love the people that you love, and in this context, in a relationship, how best to love your partner. Do you understand? You don't want to use your love language to love your partner. Do you get that? Now, if your love language is physical touch, you don't want to use your love language to love your partner. You not be touching the hug. Benny, calm down. You know, do not mix up the love languages. Speak the primary love language of the other partner. Remember, in love, it's about it's about serving the person that you love. So it's about 2 people coming together to serve each other. Okay? In love. 2 indicators to learning about somebody's love language. Like I already said, you can observe, right? I mean, when you pay close attention to somebody that you're admiring, somebody that you like, somebody that you're interested in or interested in loving, if you pay close attention, I promise you, right, the signs are always there, right? It plays out in scenarios, it plays out in conversations, it plays out in interactions. You can easily just tell that, when I gave her a gift, she was so appreciative. I mean, girls love gifts generally. That's a bonus that's a bonus love language for girls. Just saying. So I'll use another example. So when I did something, acts of service, when I did something for her, she was so grateful, she was so appreciative. Or for the guy, when I what's the other love language here, when I affirmed him, when I used my words and I affirmed, he was so appreciative. You know, when you getting to know somebody, these are the things that you look out for, so that you can learn how this person would love to be loved and scale. Now, for example, if your observation is not observing, another thing to do would be to ask. Ask for clarity. What's your love language? I mean, do you even know about the love languages? How best do you know? Do you like to be loved? So you can ask for clarity and for direction, okay? Individuals, you cannot assume your love language. You cannot say, I think that my love language is this. Because if you do that, then you're not being true to yourself. You need to discover your love language by yourself first. Because, I mean, imagine somebody's asking your love language and you don't even know it. So what do you tell the person? When you yourself, you don't understand how you want to be loved, how you like to be loved. So every individual, I mean male and females alike, you have to learn what is that language that speaks the most to me. Observe your patterns, right? You would be amazed that people are just even getting to, I mean, old people, not like old people, but people who are quite, you know, mature, are just getting to find out their love languages. Imagine that. So whoever has been speaking anything to them has just been speaking amiss. So it's good as individuals to try and observe yourself. What takes my fancy, what speaks the most to me, and find out what is your love language for yourself. You don't assume it. You don't pick the best out of the 5 and say, oh, I like this one should be my love language. No, you discover your love language, what speaks to you, and be true to yourself and stick to that one. Okay, I'll say is don't cheat yourself. So I mean, there seems to be some love languages that seem, what's the word, advantageous more than others. So now you want to claim those kind of love languages so that you can, in quotes, get the advantages that come with those love languages. You'll be cheating yourself. You'll be cheating yourself, and you will not be true to your core. I don't know if you get. Now, for instance, if your love language is not really physical touch, or because you want them to be hugging you up and down. I mean, like I said, it's amazing to get hugged, you know, and all the benefits accrue to that. But if that's not your primary love language, if you assume or take up that as your love language, I mean, it can work, it can give you the advantages and the benefits that you want, but you'd be cheating yourself. And that's a part of you that, you know, a language that your essence is not familiar with, and you now put it out there, oh, this is my love. You'll be cheating yourself, because your being is not being loved the way it wants to be loved, the way it desires to be loved, the way that it ought to be loved in its true essence. So you can't cheat your way into a love language. You cannot assume a love language. You have to know it, you have to discover it, you know, and then be true to yourself. We have learned about the 5 love languages, and it is still Valentine season. So now Valentine's is on Wednesday. I hope that this video goes out before Wednesday. Please remember to love your partners or your significant others or your friends in the way that they know to be loved, the way that they want to be loved, the way that their body, soul, and spirit will respond to love, and not the way that you think that they should be loved or the way that you like to be loved. Remember, it is their love language, not yours. Okay, so that's the point. You are supposed to speak each other's love language, not my love language for the other person. So since it's Valentine's season, like I said, the bonus way to love anybody, especially girls, is gifts. So it's Valentine's season. Don't say your love language is physical touch. Let me just be giving you hope for Valentine. No, this is an exception. Please spread love with tangibles as much as lies within your power. Thank you for watching this video. I will see you next time. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you like the video. Okay, see you next time.